Hi guys, welcome back to Kim's class. Today's lesson is going to continue talking about occupations. But in today's lesson, we're going to look at some grammar activities as well. Let's go ahead and look at today's objectives. There are 3 objectives for today. The first objective says, I can use the simple past of be. The second objective says, I can ask and answer questions using the positive and the negative form of was and were. The last objective says, I know the contractions for the negative form of these verbs. Let's do a very quick review of the simple tense versus the simple past. In the simple tense, I would say something like, I am a teacher. In the simple past, I could say, I was a teacher. When we're using the pronoun she, we could say, she is a doctor. In simple past, we would say, she was a doctor. How about with the pronoun they? In simple present, we would say, they are painters. Simple past would be, they were painters. Let's try a little practice with that. You're going to see some things on the screen and some questions that follow. I want you to go ahead and practice filling in the answers to these questions. Let's take a look. Here you see Maria, Tom, Angelo, and Juan. You see what their job was in 2008 and what their job is now. Take a look at this chart and answer those 6 questions using either is, was, are, or were. You might want to pause this video, then write your answers, and then I will show you the correct answers. Let's look at the correct answers. Number 1 says, Maria was a cashier. Number 2, Tom is a student. Number 3, Maria is a cook. Number 4, Tom was a nurse. Number 5, Angelo and Juan are managers. And the last one, number 6, Angelo and Juan were servers. So that was a little review. But now we're going to look at a grammar chart to help us understand this structure when we're asking and answering questions in the simple past. Let's look at the questions. Were you a student? Was he a student? Was she a student? Were they students? You'll notice 2 things happening in this chart. The first thing you'll notice is with the pronouns he and she, the verb changes to was. The other thing you'll notice is when we use plural pronouns like the pronoun they, we need to use the plural form of the noun, students. Now let's look at some of the answers to these questions. You could answer in the positive by saying, yes, I was, yes, he was, yes, she was, yes, they were. You'll also notice that the only time that answer changes is when we're talking about the plural noun they. Now let's look at the negative answer to these questions. No, I wasn't. I was a teacher. No, he wasn't. He was a teacher. No, she wasn't. She was a teacher. No, they weren't. They were teachers. Did you notice the apostrophe in those words wasn't and weren't? That's because they're called contractions. Look at the box there. It explains that the word was not contracts to the word wasn't. The word were not contracts to the word weren't. Let's do some practice activities with this asking and answering questions in the simple past. You're going to see the same chart about the same people, but this time you're going to answer questions using yes, no, was, and weren't. Let's take a look at that example now. So again, we have Maria, Tom, Angelo, and Juan, and what their jobs were in 2008 and what their jobs are now. You're going to want to pause this video so that you can answer these questions and then start it back up and see the correct answers. Let's look at the answer to number 1. Was Maria a cashier? Answer, yes, she was. Number 2, was Tom a student? Answer, yes, he was. Number 3, is Maria a cook now? Answer, yes, she is. Number 4, is Tom a nurse now? Answer, no, he isn't. Number 5, were Angelo and Juan managers? Answer, yes, they were. Number 6, are Angelo and Juan servers now? Answer, yes, they are. Let's go ahead and look at the 3 objectives and see how we did. The first objective, can you use the simple past of the verb to be? I think so. Can you ask and answer questions in the positive, yes, and in the negative, no? And can you use contractions for the negative form of these verbs, like was not, wasn't, were not, weren't? I think you can do that too. So that's the end of today's lesson. Thank you for joining me in Kim's class. If you are enjoying being my student as much as I'm enjoying being your teacher, I'd like to ask you to do 3 things for me. Is that okay? First, please click on the like button at the bottom of this video. Second, subscribe to my channel by clicking on the subscribe button. Number 3, share this free video with your friends, your family, and people that you work with. Number 4, I know I said 3, but this is homework. In the comments section below, write an answer to one of these 3 questions. Tell me, what time do you wake up? Or, what do you do every morning? Or, you could tell me what days do you study English? So until next time, Thank you for letting me come with you on this journey to learn English. I hope to see you soon.